With regard to the individuals who support this particular proposal, there's been a track record of Sunnyvale council members using their position to get money. You can ask yourself, why are these businesses giving council members money? It's because they're in a position of influence. They don't give any non-council Sunnyvale resident a dime. We had the example a few weeks ago of Ms. Martin Milius finding out that a local real estate developer, Prometheus, had already made an application for approval of deviations from the general plan and municipal code, and then invited Prometheus to her fundraiser and took a substantial contribution from Prometheus, and did not recuse herself from voting on their proposal to have multiple violations of the general plan. Mr. Spitaleri also learned that real estate development company, Prometheus, had submitted a request for approval of violations of the city's general plan, and then solicited and got a $5,000 monetary contribution from Prometheus in support of his bocce ball team. And that money went into a political action committee account. Ms. Martin Milius' money went directly into her pocket because she said that she had made a loan and now she was repaying a loan to herself. She had previously made a loan to herself, and now the money from Prometheus was for her to repay her loan to herself. Mr. Spitaleri had the money go into a political action committee account. Again, the recipient, Mr. Spitaleri, refused to recuse himself when the Prometheus project came before the council, and voted to approve multiple violations by Prometheus of Sunnyvale's general plan and municipal code. A couple council members had taken money, including Mr. Spitaleri and Mr. Moylan, from the downtown developer, and then voted to approve a sweetheart development agreement in which the developer was excused from the standard requirement of posting an overall performance bond. When people complained, Mr. Spitaleri repeatedly denied that he had taken money from the downtown developer. Then someone came forward with a photograph of Mr. Spitaleri and the downtown developer and Mr. Spitaleri's fundraiser. So there's a reason why Mr. Spitaleri repeatedly denied taking money from the downtown developer. He knew it was wrong and did not want to be held accountable. Now Mr. Spitaleri is blocking legal action by the city to acquire title to the downtown property, saying we want to maintain amicable relations with the parties, one of whom is his donor. So Mr. Spitaleri is one of the individuals who's taken a piece of paper, written down, I, Tony, am a model of excellence. Mr. Griffith has repeatedly conducted improper closed session meetings to plan how to pay the city manager a bonus and then a salary increase while cutting services for city residents. Mr. Griffith stated he didn't want to have a salary survey done of nearby cities because it would show Sunnyvale residents were overpaying the city manager. Mr. Griffith has taken thousands of dollars from the developers' political action committee and then voted on proposals by those developers who funded the political action committee, and those proposals violated Sunnyvale general plan and municipal code requirements. When people complained about that, Mr. Griffith stated the law requires council members who have a conflict to vote in order to establish a quorum. That's completely false. There's no law in the state of California, the county of Santa Clara, or the United States that makes that assertion, and that's an intentionally false assertion. There's a reason why that false assertion was made, because Mr. Griffith knows that it's wrong what he did, and he doesn't want to be held accountable. So Mr. Moylan also took the money from the downtown developer and then voted to approve the Sweetheart Development Agreement, just like the Sweetheart Contract Amendment for the garbage processor. And these pious proclamations by Mr. Moylan concerning free speech and Meyering interrupting the mayor are really hypocritical. You can look at the tape, the video from the September 2012 council meeting where Mr. Moylan is seen crouching behind the mayor's chair working out an arrangement where the mayor was going to ask me if he could speak ahead of me. I said yes. Mayor spoke about giving the city manager a $21,000 bonus. All the 5 other council members had spoken in favor of it. I didn't believe it was a good idea. And after Mr. Spitaleri finished, Mr. Moylan joined in a motion to deny me a chance to speak at all. and then told Mr. Spitaleri will turn off his microphone. So these false claims really have no substantiation. That's why there's nothing identified in the document. So we have a situation here in Sunnyvale where money is given to council members because of their position. No money is given to Sunnyvale residents not on the council, and the public loses in the decision-making process. You and your family lose. Just last week you lost $1.5 million, but council members won, because when companies doing business with the city see that happening, they realize that Sunnyvale is for sale, and they make contributions to people who have a position of influence on the council. This group of individuals up here on the stage in front of you has turned City Hall in Sunnyvale into a brothel. So the aptitude of these individuals who are voting on this is demonstrated by their conduct. The individuals either don't know what ethical conduct is or are unwilling to conform their conduct to traditional ethical rules. Take a look at what's on the agenda for tonight, what the city is spending time on. There's nothing on the agenda whatsoever about taking steps to resolve the downtown development fiasco. I've stated over and over and over again, we have to have a public hearing to see if the public agrees with let's maintain amicable relations with the developer. Wells Fargo had a closed-door meeting and said there's nothing that's going to happen with downtown Sunnyvale for the next 2 years. That needs to be brought up before the residents who pay our inflated salaries. And we need to get feedback from Sunnyvale residents as to whether or not that's acceptable. Nothing on the agenda tonight about the multiple, almost daily, violent burglaries in Sunnyvale. Nothing on the agenda about how the city is going to ensure that there's an emergency homeless shelter for the weakest people in the community. Nothing on the agenda about providing more park space in Sunnyvale for the exploding population that's arriving because of the multiple approvals by council members of violations by developers of general plan requirements. So the majority can be successful at this because they have a handful of votes. Each of these votes is on the council because their campaigns received huge infusions of cash from developers and from the employee associations, the Sunnyvale employees. So these individuals could make a resolution stating that Meyering is from Mars and Martians aren't allowed on the city council, or being a Martian is unethical, and do a resolution. So this piece of paper really means nothing. And they've, again, used your money to undertake this political attack. Your money was used to pay the person who typed this. Your money was used for the printer and the toner to print copies. Your money was used for the paper that this appears on. So there's no concern about using your money, and that's a violation of the Code of Ethics to use city money for a political project. So I urge the residents to step up and comment on how you believe the council is performing, and thanks for coming.